Welcome back. We finally got the audience with Citizen Brown that we were hoping to be granted, but unfortunately, trying to remind him of our adventures in 1931 is so far proven to be fruitless. And he's asked us to look around the room in hopes of jogging our memory in his efforts to set us straight, but maybe we could do the same for him. Let's take a look around here at his desk and stuff. I'm going to just start around the room and go clockwise. Looks like he's got some monitors akin to what George has in his garage.
Wow, that is cool. The sound, it's kind of lulling. Right, wait, what was I doing?
Yeah, it is kind of relaxing, isn't it? We can't examine this picture of him and Edna more closely. It kind of looks like the American Gothic painting, only without the pitchfork.
Hey, this is your fish tank.
Yes, that is my fish tank.
It looks much better without all the bacteria.
What? Edna just had it cleaned.
Yeah, but in 1931 it was full of bacteria that we used to make rocket fuel. Remember?
An impressively detailed illusion. Keep talking.
Interesting that he doesn't seem to remember any of this. The question, though, is, has Edna been trying to get him to forget about it, or has he just naturally forgotten about it, or is that some sort of time stream effect?
So that's what Judge Brown looked like. I never actually saw him.
Of course not. He died before you were born. He was my biggest supporter. After my wife, of course.
That's a switch. Last time I saw your younger self, you and your dad had just had a big falling out over your decision to become an inventor instead of a lawyer. Isn't that right?
Bizarre fantasy life. Go on. Proceed.
Seems like he almost wants to admit that we were right about some of these things. But he can't really fathom the notion that we were there with him during it.
It's all the same stuff I saw on my dad's monitors. I think. The whole town is under surveillance.
Indeed.
Something about that clock looks familiar.
It does look familiar, doesn't it? The movie ticket.
Still got the movie ticket.
Indeed I do. A memento of my first date with Edna. I took her to see The Virtuous Husband.
And you never saw Frankenstein. You were supposed to go see Frankenstein that night. It was gonna give you the inspiration you needed to pull off your big demonstration at the Hill Valley Expo.
Inspired by Frankenstein? How whimsical, not to mention historically inaccurate. My darling wife is all the scientific muse I've ever needed. From my successful demonstration at the 31 Expo all the way up to my cutting-edge Citizen Plus program.
Successful? It was supposed to be a failure.
Interesting. So now we find out what Emmett and Edna did that night instead of going to see Frankenstein. And apparently he did present at the expo. Although I'm guessing it wasn't something related to lightning or electricity.
Okay, take a look at this picture of Einstein here.
The dog, harboring dangerous animals is a municipal offense.
Yeah, they told me. But you harbored this very same animal once, a long time ago. Remember the test run of your rocket car? Einstein landed on the roof of the courthouse.
I do recall something of the sort, but naturally it couldn't have been the same dog.
There wasn't anything natural about it. Einstein's a time traveler too, thanks to your invention.
Stop trying to confuse me! My whole life has been dedicated to the practical use of technology to shape a more efficient, orderly society. Ask anyone. It's a fact. You can look it up.
You know better, right, Emmett?
Wrong. Do you see this picture? I keep it close by me to remind me of the moment when my life's course became clear. August 25th, 1931. The day I single-handedly captured Kit Tannen, the scourge of Hill Valley.
Single-handedly?
And not, incidentally, the day I caught the eye of Edna Strickland, my scientific muse and the love of my life. Take a look. What you see there is a young man who understands his destiny.
That's not what I see.
What do you see?
Really long pause. Let's look at that photo, because I think I saw something in there. This, right here, we can see us and older Doc with the longer hair in the background. Let's go through everybody else first.
Remember him?
Arthur McFly. Your grandfather, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you and I served a subpoena to him back in 31.
Preposterous.
Wow, I never noticed this before, but Edna definitely had the hots for you, didn't she?
Hots, yes. Edna was the first member of the fair sex to see something special in me.
She saw something, all right, and she ran with it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that she took advantage of Doc's scientific abilities.
Looks to me like a kid who's all psyched about his new invention.
That's where you're wrong. Although my rocket car had accidentally captured Kid Tannen, it was also a widely impractical and dangerous idea that would have triggered unimaginable consequences had I pursued it further. Luckily, Edna came along and channeled my newfound fame into more practical pursuits.
Ironically, though, it was older Emmett's idea to put Kid Tannen in the car to begin with.
I'm almost sorry we put Kid Tannen away.
We?
Yeah, come on, don't you remember? You disarmed him and I trapped him in the rocket car.
No, that's not how it happened.
Again, I had to wonder if Edna is trying to make him remember it that way. But this right here is what we're concerned about.
Could that be? I think it is.
What?
It's me, and you, the other you.
It is me. And you. But how? Harry? It's impossible.
No, it's science. Your science, Doc.
In this other world, the one you say you come from, am I happy there?
Very happy. You've got two great sons.
Sons,
Yes, and a fantastic wife.
not Edna.
Not even remotely. And your invention. Jeez, Doc, you can go anywhere you want to. Anywhere in time. You're the luckiest guy in the universe.
And what about Hill Valley?
Hill Valley. You know it's got problems. A little bit of urban decay here, a little bit of crime there. It's a normal city. People are happy, mostly. And even when they're miserable, they're not miserable like they are in your Hill Valley.
Stop! There are no miserable people in my Hill Valley.
Give me a break. You don't really
My
believe.
citizens lead lives of order and peace. Nobody worries. Nobody complains.
Only because they were afraid to. Jeez, open your eyes, will you? You and Edna have got them all terrorized.
That's Mrs. Brown to you, Sonny.
Doc,
Kindly address me as Your Honor. We worked for over 50 years, my wife and I. Every waking moment devoted to ridding Hill Valley of vice and disorder. And you dare to claim that our citizens are unhappy?
yeah, I do. I've seen it. They're just too afraid to speak up.
Afraid? Afraid of what?
Afraid of the consequences of their actions, Doc. You run this place like it's a police state.
Nonsense.
I can prove it.
All right then, time travel boy. You do that. And until you do, I'm going to treat your wild story as just that. A story told by a madman. And I've determined that the best treatment is simply to let the insanity run its course.
So, is the interview over? Should I leave?
Please do. I'm very busy. I've got a city to run.
Fine, but I'll be back with proof.
Somehow, I don't think Edna is going to be too happy about that.
Doc wants proof that Hill Valley isn't the perfect place he thinks it is. One smoking gun coming up. Dad!
Whoa! What happened
About
here?
the tape, son. I think it's done rewinding.
Whoa, take it easy. Sit here.
Guess I blacked out for a minute there. Fell out of my chair.
Fell, nothing. Somebody whacked you.
Whacked me? Impossible. We take great pride in the fact that incidences of physical violence in Hill Valley have fallen to virtually
Who did it? Can you tell me?
This can't be happening.
There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere.
What happened here? George got knocked out, there's a broken monitor, and in terms of clues, I think this is a pretty good one right here, a bat, which was not here before.
Dad, that's not one of our bats, is it?
No. No. McFlys never use aluminum bats. Curious.
Oh wait, don't touch it. It's evidence.
Of what? Oh, why would anyone do a thing like that to a nice Sector L citizen like me?
What's the last thing you remember?
I was sitting right here, copying another incriminating scene onto my tapes. My tapes! What happened to my tapes?
Stay calm, Dad.
Are they on the floor? Do you see them? They're in a box marked raw footage.
Let's see if we can find his tape.
Here it is. Raw footage.
Thank heavens.
Wait a minute.
You see, I told you were just jumping to conclusions. All these dark suspicions about thieves and attackers when all the time it was just...
Empty.
What?
There's no tapes.
But I'm sure they were in there before.
Before whoever it was whacked you in the head and took them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've been mugged. Mugged in Hill Valley. They can't get away with it. Oh!
Don't worry, Dad. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Who could have done this to me?
Well, when we came to 1986, after we went to 1931 the first time, and the Tannen crime family was in charge, Biff had an aluminum bat. And although Biff has been apparently reformed by the Citizen Plus program, he's pretty much lost all free will, and something tells me that Edna can determine what sets him off and what doesn't. And if that's the case, she could easily reprogram him to attack somebody if she wanted to. And I think she might have a vested interest in doing that, considering that our dad was recording tapes that could put her and Doc in a very incriminating position.
Who's been making trouble for you since, like, forever? Biff!
Biff? Ever since the Browns took an interest in him back in the 50s, he hasn't caused me a lick of trouble. Besides, thanks to the Citizen Plus program, he's as gentle as a kitten these days. Oh, it's no use. The tapes are gone. All I can do is hope against hope they don't surface and land me in trouble.
Come on, Dad. We can't just give up.
Well, I don't think going to the police would really be a wise option, nor would grilling people really yield anything. Let's see if we can find more clues, because, after all, he's got a video camera trained on himself. We haven't really looked at that yet, right?
I mean, maybe there's some more clues around here.
What's the use? Even if we find out who took the tapes, we're not going to be able to get them back without attracting attention to ourselves.
There's gotta be something we could do to get our hands on those tapes.
Well, we can make new ones.
We can?
Sure. It may take a while, but if you're willing to help your old man out, it shouldn't take us more than, say, 6 months.
6 months? But I need those tapes now.
You need the tapes.
What I mean is...
Well, we might as well tell him the truth.
I gotta give it to Citizen Brown. I told him I was gonna furnish him with proof that Hill Valley isn't as happy as he thinks it is, when I was in his office, just before I came here.
You had an interview with Citizen Brown?
It wasn't easy to get, believe me. I had to break all kinds of rules.
You've been breaking rules?
Harboring stray dogs, kissing girls in public, getting caught with Mom's flask.
That is the most far-fetched story I've ever heard.
It's true.
You forget I'm your father. I know your history.
Yeah, well, history's changed.
Prove it.
In more ways than one, history's changed. Well, we've got all the proof he needs right here. A stack of demerits.
Read him and weep.
Demerits, but
It was the only way.
I don't understand.
Dad, listen to me. I mean, really listen. You and I both know that things aren't right here. Citizen Brown might have started with good intentions, but his Hill Valley's just made everybody miserable.
Shh! You said that to him?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, there go our privileges.
No, wait, I got him to listen, Dad, and he's gonna make things right for you and Mom and all of us. I can't explain how. You're just gonna have to trust me on this.
Okay.
But first I have to show him your tapes to prove my point.
Oh no. No.
Dad.
This scheme of yours, maybe you know what you're doing, I can't say. But leave me out of
Dad.
it. I don't like trouble. I can't handle it. It's not in my genes.
But
Do it for Arthur McFly.
do it for your father.
My father?
Yeah, Arthur McFly.
I know his name.
Didn't he have something to do with putting away Kid Tannen, way back when?
Yes. Yes, he did. Where did you hear about that? It was way back before Citizen Brown cleaned up the town, before I was even born. Everyone lived in terror of Kid Tannen and his goons. But Dad stood up to him. He had evidence of Kid's guilt, see, and he risked his life to deliver it to the authorities. Never be afraid to do the right thing. That's what he always used to tell me.
And what are you doing?
Trying to remember which is the right feed.
Feed to what?
To the surveillance camera, the one in the yard.
Wait a minute. You have a surveillance camera trained on yourself?
Of course, gotta cover all bases. To help me figure out which monitor I'm on.
Come on, Marty, we saw that earlier. And it was on this monitor, I think. Also, I'm glad we're not the only one who doesn't buy the fact that, Kid Tannen's apprehension was, getting apprehended was not Doc's single-handed work. Let's see... There we go. Now, let's just...
Hello?
I guess we have to use the VCR.
There, that looks like us. So the surveillance tape must be on this VCR. This must be before the attack. Let's see. I remember cleaning the playback heads at 5:30. The attack couldn't have been very long after.
Aha!
Oh, it's Biff!
But it can't be him. The Citizens Plus program has rendered him as gentle as a kitten.
Huh?
That wasn't a whack. You just tapped him on the head.
I can't understand it. That's not the way he's supposed to behave. Why, even the old Biff would
Wait,
never...
what's that weird flashing on his wrist?
Let's find out. I knew this zoom and enhance feature would come in handy someday. Cost me a bundle at the hobby shop.
It's his digital watch. I wonder why it's doing that. Hey, wait, stop the picture. Can you zoom in anymore?
Wow.
X11?
You know what that means?
Not yet.
Lorraine!
Don't lay into me, George.
Uh-oh.
I've got something very important to say, and then I'm going to be leaving again.
I've got something important to say, too. I was attacked
It's
and
always
robbed.
about you, isn't it? You can't just wait and listen to my news. Oh, no. You have to go and beat me to the punch.
Pull yourself together.
That's right.
Did
You two
hear what I
sort
just
things
said?
out. I've got some business to attend to.
That's some powerful zoom, by the way. I love that.
For your